Hey, I'm Keith Arem from PCB Productions, and I'm here at Wizard Con Anaheim 2010, and we're showing our new book, Dead Speed, that is just coming out. It's a zombie apocalypse story. It takes place about 20 years after the Hope virus has wiped out about 99% of the population. The only way to stay alive is to basically get a new organ. So the last outpost of humanity, which is in Rossmore Prison outside of Chicago, they sent out the ex-inmates called Rippers, and they give them a shotgun, a machete, and a cooler chest, and they have to find down bodies outside the prison walls, hack an organ, and bring it back for the survivors to keep people alive. And so the book's been doing really well. It's not available in stores right now. We've got a video game and a movie that's going to be following up with this. In about the next 18 to 24 months, you're going to be seeing that coming out pretty soon. So in the meantime, come down to the show and check out what we're doing, and hope you guys like the book. Take care.
So what draws you to the zombie narrative in particular?
I've grown up with zombie projects, and I grew up in the 80s and 90s and loved all the post-apocalyptic kind of worlds, and always loved all the zombie films. The thing for me was that I also loved the survival horror element of it, and a lot of the previous zombie films up until like 28 Days Later and other films that have been more recent, it was always sort of just about the gore and just about how campy it was. And I love the gore and I love, you know, that sort of environment, but I love the survival side of it. And what's amazing now is you go on like Facebook or any of these social networks and you see all the, like the zombie survivalist groups, and they're polarized, right? You see like the zombie enthusiasts, and you see the zombie walks that happen at, you know, Comic-Con and everywhere else, and then you see the opposite. You see the guys who are like, no zombies, you know, zombies are absolutely, you know, the target. And so I think that there's both sides of that. And so for me, I wanted to have a story that was sort of combine my love of survival horror, of zombies, and also just, I think, the whole idea of these rippers, these guys who have these muscle cars. It's like technology stops now, right? And it's 20 years, and it's not like sci-fi where you've got like these really cool futuristic cars. It's like, no, I mean, if you're going to be a ripper and you got to be fast and lean and you got to rip someone's organ out to bring it back as fast as possible, you're not going to necessarily have the armor and the tank that you'd like to go out there. You're just going to want to be able to get out there and plow over guys as fast as possible to be able to do that. So that's what this sort of the story kind of combines all those passions in it and sort of brings it to a new level for the zombie enthusiasts. So that was my focus behind it.
Did you key in on any like zombie movie influences in this?
I mean, I think the 28 Days was definitely a huge influence for a lot of things. I think I was already working on this when I saw that, but it definitely was perfect, you know, sort of culture clash for it. I've been a big fan of things like Mad Max and Road Warrior, so I wanted to have that element to it. There's been some films since then that have not been done as well, so I kind of wanted to bring my love of how that could be done very well into this, and I think that was a huge influence. And then I also wanted to just be able to work with some people that I really enjoyed, so like Yuri Lowenthal, who's a fantastic up-and-coming actor who's been doing a ton of stuff. He's known mainly for his video game work and voiceovers in Naruto and television, and also in doing video games like Prince of Persia, and also friends like Michael Ironside, who I grew up, you know, watching Scanners, you know, and Starship Troopers and anything else. So Michael and Yuri and Nina Bergman and Adam Lawson, we had a lot of great people come in to be able to work on the project, and it was something that I can combine my background in video games and motion pictures and bring it into a graphic novel and make it look a little bit more cinematic than some of the other projects that have kind of treaded the same territory.
Awesome. And personally, what's your favorite zombie movie?
Oh man, that's a really good. That's a good question. It's probably gonna be 28 Days. It's probably just because it treated it really well, and it really didn't violate any of the kind of expectations that I would have for that. I mean, I've grown up with all of them, and I love them all equally, I think. But 28 Days probably just pushed it over the top, just kind of set the new standard for where it needs to go, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, Day of the Dead and it was one of my favorites growing up, just because the idea of being able to kind of push the envelope back then, and you see, you know, games like Dead Rising and other things who have definitely sort of take some of those cultural influences and bring them to the video game space. The video game side of this is going to be a huge component, because the whole idea of being able to go out as a ripper with a shotgun and a machete, and they have these really cool, these guys called searchers, and these guys go out and they spot bodies from these building tops, and they don't talk, and they've got these great sniper rifles, and we don't even know who these guys are. And so at the beginning of the game, you're literally out there as a Ripper, and there's these laser lights targeting bodies throughout the city, and you're driving, finding these things, got to go out, and you got to find a body that's still human, and you got to hack out this organ and bring it back, and you've got 20 minutes to do it before the organ turns. So that's it for me coming out of the game industry. It's such a great play mechanic because you're learning how to fight zombies, you're learning how to drive, you're learning how to just be able to navigate within the city. And so by the time the story starts to progress, you've already learned all the play mechanics to be able to kind of take that to the next level. So the Dead Speed game is going to go hand in hand with the film and the book.
You got a developer already set?
We do, and it's through our company, PCB Productions. I direct and produce and work on a ton of video games. I just did Modern Warfare 2, and just did Transformers and Darksiders, and we have a whole bunch of new projects coming out this year. So my sort of background in games, I wanted to be able to put together development teams to be able to then work with us directly to then keep the continuity of the story and the characters and the artwork and the play mechanics of what we do best. So
awesome. And then just as a last question, if you were to see one celebrity get mauled by zombies, who would it be?
David Hasselhoff.
Man, you don't hassle the Hoff.
No, David's great. No, I'm sticking with David.
All right.
Sorry,
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.